Hello, everybody. This is Charlie Belfontaine. And with me right now is I have the team from Guardian Financial, and it's Aaron Furman, and Ben is with them as well, helping us out. They work with ISN, and the Guardian Financial has a pretty new program. We're actually using it in our business right now, and it's new. Some people are being successful with it. I am not yet. And part of doing all this is so I personally can learn how we can rearrange our system and make it work so we can get more people buying more ancillary services and using their pay at close system. Aaron and Ben, if you don't mind, please say hello. Tell us about Guardian Financial and ISN and the teamwork you guys have set up there.
Yeah. So, my name's Aaron, and Ben and I founded Guardian Financial 22 years ago, and we've been doing this.
I didn't know it was that long.
Long time ago,
wow.
right out of college. We've been doing this for a long time. We've been working very closely with ISN for most of that time. We had a conference that back in the Casey O'Malley days, if anybody's old enough to remember the Casey O'Malley conferences.
I am.
Yeah. And so we actually showed up there with a new high-fangled, high-tech wireless credit card machine that we were selling back then, and we just happened to have a booth next to Chris Schold and Dan Huber, and that was our first introduction to the inspection industry and specifically to ISN. And we've been great friends with them ever since, and partners with ISN ever since. And
I missed Dan. I don't get to talk to him too much anymore, and he did a wonderful job with that ISN. He's a very smart man.
Yeah, he's a good guy. We still keep in touch with him every once in a while, and he's living the good life down there in Vegas. Plays gigs with his band 2 or 3 times a week, and he's loving life. So
that's a cool thing to hear. And I'm looking at your families up here. They're very attractive families. So congratulations to you both on great products, great families, great lives. You know, that's cool stuff.
We're excited to be here, and hopefully we can shed some light on this product, let people know what it's not and what it is, and give you some insight onto maybe some best practices on what you could do different to make it more effective, because there's definitely some things you can do to make it more effective so that it's benefiting your business instead of just another one of 100 products. So we're
I couldn't agree more. I mean, everything that's there. And I'm not trying to, tout everything else, but I mean, the credit card processing that you do is great, and I know we're not talking about the ACH, but I got to tell you, that's a game changer for me too, because it's automated now.
Yeah.
I don't have to go in there and mark things paid everywhere, and it gives someone a cheaper, easier way for me to go ahead and do it. And if this is going to bring in more business, and I don't want to sound like a greedy jerk, but I'm in business to make money. And the more we make per inspection, the better everything is. So I am going to hit you with some hard questions.
We're ready. Today? We're ready.
We're ready.
All right.
We don't need any softballs.
Punch the best I can. So
that's great.
All right.
So let me first just kind of show you what it's not. Pay at close is not, and the reason that we titled this that pay at close doesn't have to be a 4-letter word is we know that historically when inspectors hear pay at close, they cringe, and it's just been such a hard thing to deal with because you've got agents who are asking you to do it, and by doing pay at close, now you've got to track down payment 45 days later or even longer. What happens if the deal falls through? With pay at close and the deal falls through, now you're trying to track down a payment from a customer who didn't buy the house that you did the inspection on. They don't want to pay for that. And even though you probably get it most of the time, it's a real hassle. Pay at close, our pay at close is not a payment option where you've got to track those funds down even if the deal falls through, and our pay at close is not a payment option where inspectors have to deal with escrow and title companies. We take care of that for you. So what pay at close is, our program is completely unique. We are literally the only ones in the entire world who are offering this solution, and we're super excited about it. You get paid up front with pay at close, which is incredible. So you do the inspection, you can tell your customer, don't worry about it, you can pay for all this at closing, and you still get paid up front, even if the deal falls through. So you don't care if the deal falls through or their backup credit card payment doesn't work, or you name it. Once you've done the inspection and that customer signed the pay at close agreement, you're done. You're paid, you get funded up front. We deal with any roadblocks that come after that point, and it's on us to figure it out and deal with it, and you don't have to worry about it.
Now you work with people all across the United States, right?
We do, yeah.
Where do you find that home inspectors, and I'm just speaking here in Illinois, which is where I'm located at, and mostly in the Chicagoland area, it's not a common thing. I don't get asked for this, to pay at close. Are there other parts of the country where you see this is more popular?
Definitely. It's certainly a regional thing. That's not to say that in your region, even though it's not the norm, that there aren't super big benefits for you to offer it, and we'll talk about
And
that.
that's why I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
I want to see how it fits in me, and I don't want to sound like an opportunist or anything else like that, but I mean, why would I ignore an opportunity, right?
Absolutely, nothing wrong with that. But like we were just talking to Joe Beller down in Lubbock, Texas, yesterday, and in Lubbock, Texas, even he was saying 60 to 70% of all inspections go to closing, get paid at closing. Not his, just that area. That's the norm. And so for him, this was a super exciting prospect to have somebody else tracking all that for him and not having to deal with all that, because it's totally normal. But we've got inspectors who are in areas like right here in Idaho, pay at close is not the norm at all where we're at, but we've got inspectors who are doing very well with it.
Yeah, and if it's going to give me a market advantage, I'm taking it.
Exactly.
That's how I built my entire business, is off of 3 words: why choose me? All right. When somebody starts looking for a home inspector, I always kind of treat us like a pizza. You're hungry. I want to eat now. I want a pizza. Now, which pizza do I get? I know I'm getting one, but who do I hire? Same thing. I bought a house. I need a home inspector. I need it now. Who am I going to hire? And I want to get the best bang for the buck. I don't want the cheapest, but I want the best value.
Absolutely.
And if this is a value added service that makes somebody choose me over my competitor, I win. So that's, I don't want you to ignore all the other stuff that this does, but I'm going to be selfish. All right. I'm going to ask that you aim some of this at, how can I use this to give me a market advantage over my competitors?
That's great. Yep. We'll talk about that for sure.
Thank you.
So why should you do it? And I guess this is going to answer some of that. There's definitely guys who are doing this already, right? And even before this, we talked to inspectors. I mean, we've been doing this, like we said, 22 years, and with home inspectors for over 15 years. And we would get asked all the time, do you guys have a solution for pay at close? And when we would talk to inspectors about that, we'd ask them, well, why are you doing it in the first place? Like, what's the point? And a lot of times the answer was, because I'm the only one in my area that will do it. And so agents will come to me and do business with me because none of my competitors do it. So I'm willing to put up with the hassle of pay at close in order to get that market share. And so right now, where this is a brand new product, but we've got some big players in the industry who are turning this on. Guys who are doing hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of home inspections every month, not every year, are now offering pay at close, and not just offering it, but actively pushing pay at close with their customers and to their agents, especially because they're trying to get market share. Now they're going out into their areas, doing their agent presentations, saying, hey, we offer pay at close for free on every single inspection. That's why you should use us. And agents are taking note. It's something that's a unique offering that other people aren't doing. And so free pay at close on every inspection is super unique. So being one of the first ones in your market definitely puts you ahead of competitors, because this is something that's becoming that people are excited about. But this is what we wanted to spend a little bit of time on. and I know there's a lot of numbers here, but I want to take a minute and show you some of the highlights. This just came about. This is from a date of, we took 11 inspectors that were actively using our Pay at Close product from January 1st until May 12th. Okay, so just up until a couple days ago, last week. And what we did was we took the number of Pay at Close transactions, the number of non-Pay at Close transactions, and we found out, we took the average. How much money, how much revenue are you making on your average non-Pay at Close inspection? How much revenue are you making on your average Pay at Close inspection? What's the difference?
All right, and I'm not an acronym guy. I get annoyed by them. So column number 1, where I see the hashtag Pay at Close, that's the amount of transactions.
Yep.
Total,
So
right?
Inspector A did 65 Pay at Close transactions.
All right.
And we didn't, I don't have this in the column. I'm not sure why I didn't put it in there. And then for non-PAC, so non-Pay at Close RP is average revenue per inspection.
Gotcha. I love that on the ISN. I see that in the My Fee section.
Yep.
And I go there all the time.
On average, for the non-Pay at Close inspections, he charged $601.50 per inspection. Look at this. On his Pay at Close inspections, on average, he was at $750.74. That's $149 extra that he made on his Pay at Close inspections versus non-Pay at Close. So on these 65 inspections that he did during this time period, he made an extra $149 each. And that's after the Pay at Close fee. So that's above and beyond what he had to pay for the fee. He made an extra $149. So that's an extra
$10,000 that he put in his pocket.
Put in his pocket because of Pay at Close.
And that's pretty big. And like I said, I work this in our business. We work these numbers a lot, and ancillaries is what helps me drive that number up.
Yep.
You know, so for me, we have radon, we do mold testing, we do level 2 chimney scans, we do sewer scopes, we do pool inspections, irrigation inspections, and sometimes these bills run up to $2,000. You know, and I'm fine with that. But I know that some people don't do it because they may not have that 1,000 to 2,000, and that's what I'm seeing here.
Yep.
Am I mistaken in that, or?
No, that's exactly right. That when you don't have to pay now, and you can push it till closing, you're not even putting it on a credit card. You can push it till closing. 45 days later, people are that's the American way, right? Buy it, get it now, pay for it later. That's what Americans want to do. And it's just so much easier when you have that conversation with your customer, like you just had. My home inspection's $450, sewer scope's $225, radon test $120, irrigation is $80. But
you got to raise your
it.
prices. I'll tell you that right now. You're
okay.
You know?
But then you can say, don't worry about paying now. You don't have to pay for any of this now. You can pay for it at closing. That immediately just takes that pressure off the customer. And instead of adding up the dollar signs, they're thinking, I really should have a sewer scope. I really should have my sprinklers tested. I should have the radon. And they're not focused on the dollar amount nearly as much because they don't have to pay for it today. And so it's playing out. Now, not everybody saw those type of numbers, but on these 11 guys, on average, they made $96 extra on every Pay at Close inspection versus non-Pay at Close, and that's over 580 inspections there. So it's a decent sample size, but 18% more.
For doing we don't know how many different ancillaries they have either.
We don't, and we don't. I mean, we could find that out, but that would take a lot. It'd be a manual process. There's no automated way to get that. But what we do know is it was ancillary service sales. You know, they didn't change their inspection price. They raised it a little bit to cover, like we've instructed people to increase their price by about $15 on every inspection to cover your Pay at Close fee. So they've all done that, but then above and beyond that, they're making on average $96 extra on every inspection.
And what we are finding is when we look at these and some of the ranges, it's when are you presenting Pay at Close? So the guys who are doing a great job of presenting Pay at Close right up front, so that individual knows that they have this option to pay later before they've even presented with all of these additional ancillaries, then their ability to accept those ancillaries is significantly increased, rather than, hey, here's all my ancillaries, and oh, by the way, you can pay at close. So it's, there are a lot of, in the beginning you were saying, hey, maybe I'm not having success right now. Those are some of the things to think about, is how are you presenting pay at close to the customer?
And let me throw that out there at you. So, again, this is personal, right? And we'll share with everyone, of course, but I'm going to ask for my own personal business here. I found for me that I use the ISN online scheduling. All right. I don't have a secretary. I don't have anyone. Right now we have 12 inspectors that we keep going and we keep people busy with. And we only take orders through the ISN. All right. They have to do it online. So if I can get this as one of the options that they could choose at the pay at close, then yeah, that'll work out great.
Yeah. It's there. So a couple things on that. So right now they can choose pay at close. When they book through the online scheduler, they can choose pay at close when they check out. And we can also make it so that on the online scheduler, there's a message that says, hey, you qualify to, for pay at close. But we are also in the process of building with the ISN engineering team some automation into the ancillary service motion, so that customers can choose right up front pay at close, and then when they choose pay at close, it'll say, hey, you chose pay at close. Did you know that Charles also offers this and this and this and this service, and you don't have to pay for any of it right now. You can pay for it at closing. So that's something
Nice.
we're going to be building into the online scheduler to try and do those upsells for you automatically as part of the pay at close process. Because we really want to make sure that these guys know, as they're making their buying decision, that they don't have to pay for it now. That's when it really helps, is when they're making that buying decision, that's already in their head. So
nobody lost money on this. That's what I'm seeing in this graph here.
Yep. Every
the
single one of
smallest
them.
one is $23.
$23, and that's above and beyond his pay at close fee. So that's just gravy. He already had covered his pay at close fee before that $23. So that's gravy. 4.88% was the smallest one, but yeah, on average 18%. So one of the things that we're doing now is reaching out to some of these guys that have the lower percentages and seeing if they can tweak a few things in their script and in their pitch to increase that. And if we can prove that out, that just changing a few things in your script will increase your ancillary service sales, this is awesome.
And then
I'm
again,
pulling up my average fee right now because I am just so curious. And a friend of mine, Jamie, he's got me beat by $100 or more, and I'm always jealous of him. But right now we're at $767.85 as an average fee.
That's
per
awesome.
inspection.
And that guy's beating you by $100, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So on average, $96 if you're doing pay at close. So there you got him. If we can get that figured out.
Right. We're gonna be flipping some switches.
If you can get that
done with this
extra 18%, that's $137 that you're throwing on top.
Did you just calculator that, or did you figure it out in your head?
No, I got a calculator. I'm not that good.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Keep going.
No, you're good. So one of the things, the big question everybody has when we bring this up is, how much does it cost? And when we tell them it's $75, immediately they go from being really excited about this product of like, oh, $75 extra. But
it adds up.
It does. It absolutely adds up, and we get that. One of the things we found is that on average, with the way pay at close is set up in your ISN right now, where your customers have the ability to choose that as a payment option when they go to checkout, and it's on the online scheduler, you're going to get about 20% to 25% adoption. So 20 to 25% of your customers are going to choose pay at close. So if we take 20% adoption rate, and I'm going to just do some math here real quick. Let's say you do 10 inspections, right? If you increase your fee on all 10 inspections, not just pay at close inspections, but every inspection that you do, increase your fee by $13, right?
And that's nothing.
That's nothing. So on those 10 inspections, you made an extra $130, right? If you have 20% of those 10 inspections are doing pay at close, that's two pay at close transactions at $75 each. So you had $150 in fees. A $13 price increase covers 130 of those 150. But then for those 2 transactions that did pay at close, you're not paying credit card processing fees, right?
Oh, hey,
So,
that's a hook.
yep.
That's
So you
that's a big thing.
saved another 20 bucks there in credit card processing fees. So you broke even. So a $13 price increase on all your inspections allows you to offer pay at close for free on every single inspection that you do. And only 20% to 25% are actually going to choose it, but that's your hook. That's where you can now go to your agents and say, not only do I offer pay at close, but I offer it for free. I'm not going to charge your customer a thing for them to pay later at closing. And that's what sets you apart. So when you're doing that, you know, your office presentations, we actually have built some slide decks for you to white label and put your logos into it. Just a quick deck that you can plug right into your existing one for agents, where you can go in there. And we've had some great, we've got a great testimonial. Cobblestone Home Inspection, who actually is in your neck of the woods, said he was doing an agent presentation. There was 13 agents in the room and 1 mortgage broker. He said they were all on their phones. You know, like most presentations, agents aren't paying attention. And he said, I brought up pay at close. And I said, I offer pay at close for free on every inspection. It's just one of my services. He said all the heads went up. They were all paying attention. And after that presentation, all 13 of them came up and gave him their cards, said, we're interested. And the mortgage broker came up and said, this is amazing. I've never heard of anybody doing that. And he booked 1 inspection right there at the presentation with an agent he'd never used before. So, you know, that was,
his name is Ron. Now I'm jealous of him.
So he was super excited about that, to have something that he can go to agents that makes a differentiator, right? Makes him unique from all the other guys. So
why choose me? Absolutely.
Yep.
Those should be the 3 main words in everybody's vocabulary. But you didn't, there was something, oh, I lost what it was. I wish I would have wrote it down. But you did mention, it'll come back to me. I'm going to have to jump in and interrupt you again in a little bit. I'm sorry.
That's just
But
fine.
there was something that I wanted to ask you about that I forgot already.
Now, one thing that I didn't say here is the reason that this is the way we tell people to price it, a $13 price increase, but it's more than just a suggestion. So there's consumer finance laws out there that say that you're
That's what I was going to ask you. That's
Okay.
it. Thank you.
Good. There's consumer finance laws out there that say you're not allowed, as a business, you can't charge your customer extra for deferring payment down the road. So if you're a furniture company, it's no problem to say, hey, 90 days, same as cash, right? I'll finance you for 90 days. You don't pay anything more than you would have paid if it was cash. But if you were to say, I'll finance you for 90 days and I'm going to charge you a $75 fee, now you become a lender and you have to be licensed as a lender. And nobody wants to go down that road in our industry. That's not something we want to deal with. So the way around it, we hired a consumer finance attorney, a nationally recognized attorney in that field, and he said you can get around it by simply offering it for free and building that into your price. So by raising your price on every inspection by $13 and offering it for free, you now are totally in the clear with consumer finance laws. You don't have to worry about that. But even if that weren't the case, this is the best practice. Offering it for your customers for free gives you that hook with your agents, and you really want to. I mean, if I go back to that slide, I'm not sure how to go back.
Backspace.
Oh yeah. If I go back to this slide, knowing that you're going to make an extra $96.53, why wouldn't you want everybody to choose pay at close? You don't want to give them any sort of a deterrent against doing pay at close. So if you were to, let's say, for example, you said, hey, you can do pay at close, but it's $75. Well, I don't want to do pay at close. Now
Yeah, that's going to turn them off.
Not only does it turn them off to pay at close, but now you've turned them off to this, all these extra ancillary service sales. So you want to make pay at close simple and painless for your customer, so that they're willing to purchase all these extra services from you. So
now, I see a lot of people when they're buying houses that, they don't have disposable income. They're using everything that they have. They're going to pretty much drain their bank accounts down when they go ahead and buy a house.
Yep.
They're going to put as much as they can as the down payment. They want to mortgage as much. I think that's like 80-90% of the people. And they don't really have, they're already going to spend, well, in my area, $500 for a base home inspection. I know there's guys doing them a lot cheaper, but still, but I want people paying $1,500. All right. I want to buy in all the extras, and they just don't have that extra coin, the extra $1,000 or $2,000 to do that. And this is where my eyes are lighting up. I'm seeing this as an opportunity that says they're going to, okay, now we can go ahead and do more due diligence and protect ourselves and know better what we're buying.
I think that's a great point. Our marketing director, Blythe, bought a house about 6 months ago, had a home inspection done, but skipped the sewer scope because it was whatever, $250 extra.
$325. Stop going cheap prices.
The sewer scope was $800 extra, so she skipped it. And but she had a blockage. Everything flowed out. They had to dig a huge hole in her living room to get to the pipe, and it was a nightmare. She just now, like 4 months later, finally getting the floors installed, and it's been a nightmare. And that $350 sewer scope would have saved her so much hassle. So not only does it make you more money, but it protects your clients. Like, your clients should be getting these extra services when they get a home inspection, but they don't, because they're scared of the cost, and they don't want to do that. So if you can make it easier, make it easier on them to do that, so that they can protect themselves. Not only are you making more money, but you're serving your client better. And I just think it's just really important that we do that.
And again, I see this as, again, the why choose me. I'm all sitting here right now, pissy pants, because Ron beat me to this. And that's not his fault. That's my fault. All right. I'm the one who should be standing out. I'm the one who should know better and say why choose my business over somebody else. And I want every market advantage I can have. I'm sorry. I'm sitting here kicking myself right now. So.
You got plenty of time. This is still brand new. There's about 150 inspectors out there in the country who are offering this product right now. We were in beta test for a long time. We really just launched it about 3 weeks ago to the world as a whole. So this is still definitely at the very forefront, and there's definitely time for the early adopters to get out there and use this to gain market share.
Cool.
So that's it. As far as for anybody who's interested in learning more about it, here's our phone number, here's our email address, our the website where we've got all the information as far as pay at close goes. But we'd love to talk to you about it. If you're already on ISN, getting this turned on is super easy. It takes 2 minutes, and our onboarding team will walk you through how to do that. But love to have any other questions. So Charles,
leave this up here. I got a few that comes in here. So now, when they're in the ISN or somebody's getting this, it's just a click box, basically. I choose this as an option, right? What else has to happen, though? I mean, what happens if the deal gets killed? How, do I have to still collect credit card information or anything like that? Or who does that?
You don't have to do anything. So let me actually show you this. I'm going to.
When the customer goes through the checkout process, right up front, it's asking them for all of the information that we need. So they're signing an agreement, we're gathering backup credit card information, and we're trying to gather title information. But what Aaron's going to show you here is, even if they don't have that information up front, they're able to say, I don't have this, and then we collect that on their behalf. So everything that we need is gathered right in that checkout process, so that no matter what, once you've done the inspection, you're funded, you stay funded. It's our responsibility to collect from there.
So when they get
you guys will follow through. You'll go ahead and
everything.
Get this information.
Yep.
I don't have to do it, or I don't have
to do anything. Yep.
Correct.
So the customer is going to go to checkout. There's pay at close, credit card, ACH, however they want to pay. If they choose pay at close, they can come in here and put their closing company information right there, or they can click this box that says, I don't have closing company info, contact my real estate agent to get it. This will automatically pull in their agent information, so they don't have to go look for it. So if they click that box, it'll bring it in there. they're going to put their name, their credit card number, and their expiration date. And there's a little box here that says, hey, we're only collecting this as a backup payment. We're not going to charge your card. And then they come down here, sign it, click accept, done.
Here's a hard question for you. Go back up a little bit to that. We're collecting in case it doesn't close. What if somebody feels that this is something that's pushing them, that they have to buy the house? I know I told you no easy questions, has anyone approached you with something like that?
We haven't had that yet.
No.
I don't know,
I have to pay this now because now I'm on the hook for all this big fee now.
Well, I mean, I don't know that it would be any different though, that if they chose credit card, right? They chose to pay with the credit card, the
Fair
deal
enough.
doesn't go through, they've already paid for it. So,
Okay.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
haven't
I
ran
don't know.
into that
Maybe
yet.
I'm digging at straws right now
Yeah.
because I mean, if it's not right for them, it's not right for them.
So yeah, I don't see anybody feeling pressured to buy the house because they feel like there's a $500 home inspection fee floating out there. But obviously if somebody were to call us up and say, hey, I'm not, and we've had that happen a lot. Like people come and say, hey, we're not going to buy the house. What do I do now? No problem. We got your credit card as the backup payment. We'll go ahead and bill your card. And that
And do you
happens
bill right away then, once the deal's canceled?
Yeah, when we find out that the bill closes, usually we don't find out until a couple days before the closing date, because what we do is we reach out to the title company and say, hey, we sent you this invoice a couple weeks ago. We show that the closing is 3 days from now. We just want to verify that this is on your closing statement, and then they'll reply and say, hey, this fell through. They're not closing. At that point, we'll go bill the card.
Sounds good. Go ahead and put your name and email and stuff back up there, please. No, the other screen.
for contact us. Yeah.
And that, so it's simple, it's quickie. So there's a website, explains everything, our phone numbers, sales at Small Business Guardian.
And something that's we're really excited about that I don't think Aaron hit on is that, we've been doing credit card processing for 20 years now, right? It's the you have to do evil kind of a thing. This is the first time that we've really had a product where it's just, everything about this is to make an inspector more money. Like credit card processing is kind of a necessary evil, but this is not. This is everything about it, not only increasing ancillary services, but our big picture goal for us at Guardian is to say, what can we do to eliminate the conversation around payments? Very similar to, in most markets, the way that an appraisal goes, right? Everybody has to have an appraisal. So when's the last time you had a conversation about what the appraisal is going to cost? And that's really our big picture goal, is if we can get people used to the process of just paying for this transaction at closing, that allows for the inspector to really enter into that conversation with what we were talking about earlier. Like, you need the sewer scope, you need the mold inspection, you need all of these things. It should just be expected that you're going to do this. And pricing, which is right now, everybody's conversation is around pricing, we can eliminate that. So that really is our big picture goal. And the more that we can get inspectors and agents involved in pushing transactions to closing, the closer the industry is going to get to pricing being less a part of the conversation.
Yeah, and it's also, switching gears just a tad, I guess. I know there's a group down in Florida that's trying to get payment in advance. I've been doing a lot of down payments and deposits for people just because, for me, people make an order and then they lose the house and they don't bother calling me. And I let a guy go to the site and draw up there. So, but if we got the credit card as an authorization, how does that work if they cancel at the last minute?
Yeah,
Is there any protection for somebody like me?
We don't have that built into it's not built into the system yet as far as deposits are concerned, so that you taking a deposit and then you getting paid that deposit if the transaction doesn't go through when they've chosen pay at close as the payment option. That's not a part of the system, but it is on our big picture list because we have had conversations around that with other inspectors. Because we work with some companies who, they just don't show up unless the inspection is fully paid for 24 hours in advance. So
I actually want to switch to that.
yeah,
I'm not saying it's a big problem, but when it happens, it costs us money. Our inspectors that work for our company, they will get paid. All right. This is how they support their family. And I'm not going to let them go without pay, for their fees. But we lost that income. We lost the profit, that everything else that comes with it. If there's some, so yeah, if you could work on something, that would make somebody like me super happy, where we could still, if you're gathering a credit card and they sign an agreement that they don't give us 48 hours notice to cancellation, that we could still bill that credit card. That wouldn't be a bad thing.
There's a way you can do it.
It's
It's just manual. Like right now, there's not an automated way to do that, but you can certainly manually do that. You could
And
go
that's what
in.
we have been doing. So we can, I guess,
Yeah.
refund it or something, right?
Yeah, you just do a partial refund. So if your policy says that, if they cancel closer than 48 hours before the inspection, you only get half of your funds back. You just go refund half of it.
You would just have to be gathering credit card information on your own as in, again, a very manual process right now to do that in conjunction with pay at close.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely on our roadmap.
Cool. Well, I want to thank you both for taking the time to explain this. And I'm going to get this video up on our website and a couple other ones that I'm involved with as well. And I got nothing else. I just gotta thank you, and I hope that more people try it. And seriously, I'm gonna flip the switch and we're gonna run it, and hopefully I'll have the same percentage, and it works.
That's great. Well, we
Sounds
sure
great.
appreciate the time. This has been a pleasure, and we'll look forward to seeing how it's going. And obviously, not just everybody else, but anybody who needs anything, just give us a call, and we can either help you get it set up, or if you're already using it and want to learn more best practices or see what's going on, give us a holler.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you again.